Hi guys, thank you so much for joining. We are starting in 5 minutes. Still giving others time to join. Hello Kay, karibu. Hello Rachel. Awesome. Now, hi Charlotte, hi Christine. We will begin immediately because we're supposed to start at 3 and we're not supposed to take so much time. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're glad you're here. So, I think the screen is clear. So I'll be Ziana Utui. I'm a scientist and a machine learning engineer by profession, and I'm a researcher, IT consultant at Autocom Limited. And I'm also skilled in different IT areas from web development, software development, graphic design, cybersecurity. I'm a believer in that whatever your hands find to do it with your might. And my hobbies are gardening, working out in form of dances, and playing chess. Now, our program coordinator is called Wilma Terry. She's joining the live session, even though we'll not be able to bring her today, but she definitely meets the participants later. So Terry is a communication specialist with a diverse background in digital marketing, communication strategies, and client relationship management. And she's worked in various high-profile brands, running successful campaigns, design and overseeing digital strategies. She's worked with clients such as Pernod Ricard, Kappa Oils, Trademark Africa, Financial Sector, Deepening Africa, and Africa Natural Capital Alliance, among other organizations. Just a brief history about the organization that is running this bootcamp before I dive right into the bootcamp details. Hi Eliza, hi Lilian. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined. I want this session to be as short as possible and as informative as possible. So for those who've joined later, I am Ziana. I'll be the course instructor. I'm a data scientist and a machine learning engineer. I'll share with you guys my LinkedIn profile and a few projects that I've worked on. So just to introduce you to the organization that is running this bootcamp, it's called NextTech, and the chief aim of this organization is to empower Kenyans and Africans with competitive technology skills for the modern workforce. Now, the organization is not just training people on data analysis, but they also have other programs, trainings for Hello Sebi. They also have other trainings for businesses and individuals in the fields of cybersecurity, there's web development, there's trainings in digital marketing, and just there's trainings in AI, machine learning. So if you're interested in also these other fields as well, just subscribe to the YouTube channel and you'll be able to get highlights. But we'll also share with you, because we have your emails, we'll also be sharing with you on our upcoming courses. And the vision is, of course, is to be a leading force in shaping Kenya's future by providing accessible, high-quality training that equips a diverse and skilled tech talent pool. And our objectives are to expand tech skills development, empower diverse tech professionals, bridge the digital skills gap for businesses, foster innovation, as well as increase employability and promote a thriving digital ecosystem. Now, we are working on bringing on board partners where we can take our alumni and those who take our programs to intern and actually practice their skills hands-on. So that is a partnership that we're working on currently, and the top performers, and just mostly, it's not just the top performers alone, but those who go through our boot camps will be able to be placed in different organizations in order to practice their skills. So we will update you on that. Now, on to this bootcamp. It's a data analysis with Excel, SQL, and Power BI. Now, because we have those who have not interacted with these tools, before I go to structure, I just want to tell us what these tools are. Now, Excel is a spreadsheet that is developed by Microsoft. We also have Google Spreadsheets, which is also a spreadsheet that you can use that also has the same thing that Excel does, and it's a tool that is used for data analysis and data visualization, and it's mostly used for simple database management. And Power BI is a business intelligence tool that is developed by Microsoft. and it's used for visualization as well as business intelligence. And then we have SQL, Structured Query Language, which is a standardized programming language for querying databases and for relational databases, because we have different types of databases. Now we'll go deeper into these tools when we start the bootcamp next week. But just to give you a highlight of what the bootcamp is going to be, it's supposed to last for 2 months, and we're going to be having weekly sessions. That is on Thursdays from 3 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. That is exactly 1 hour 45 minutes. And because we're running for 2 months and we have 6 weeks for the trainings, which are very hands-on, by the way. This is going to be a practical training, so you're supposed to be having these tools. I'll let you know how to install these tools. After which we're going to have a portfolio project, because at the end of the day, we don't just want you to go through the program without having something to show for your skills. So we're going to develop a project that incorporates all the tools that we're going to learn here, that you can have on your portfolio website. After the program is done, we'll also have a session on how to build, where we take you on how to build a website, portfolio website, which is also going to be free, by the way. We'll also have another session on LinkedIn optimization, on how to build your CV. So that is also a part of what is not highlighted here, but we'll have it. So we're going to help you build. You're going to have to build a project that is going to act as your portfolio project that you can show to your potential employers, and tell them that you actually have skills, and not just don't just tell them you went to this boot camp but you don't have a way to show for your skills. So there's that we'll have 2 weeks dedicated for that. And then we're going to have live sessions every Thursday from 3 to 4:45 p.m. It's just one, we just need one day from your week, and in that one day we just need like 1 hour 45 minutes to take you through what we have for the different tools. I'll tell you how the structure is broken down later in this session. And we will also be recording these sessions so that you can come back later and refer. And we'll be presenting the projects on 1st of August, and we also have certificates. So the course structure in the trainings will be having a session where we give you, during the session, we'll be giving you the foundational knowledge, and the sessions will be interactive and hands-on, and then we'll also be giving you case studies. We'll be giving you uh, a practical session where you see how these tools are actually used in the industry. We're not just giving you the tools, but we are actually training you on how these tools are used in different industries. So a case study of different organizations in Kenya or Africa. And then we'll also be having Q&As. Now for these Q&As, we'll have questions that are asked during the live sessions, but you can also ask questions via the email, the NextTech email that I think most of us have, but I'll also share it here. And we'll also have a group where you can also ask questions and be answered. And then we'll also be having assignments that are to be submitted every Wednesday by midnight. So if we have an assignment that is, for example, if I was to give you an assignment today, I expect it by Wednesday midnight. How those assignments are submitted will be shared with you during the course of the course. Now, I've already highlighted the tools, and for you to be eligible for a certificate, you need to attend at least 70%. That is 4 out of the 6 live sessions. I think that is lenient enough because you only have 6 weeks, and then you also need to have submitted all your assignments, because that is how we gauge your skills, and also you need to have done your project and presented if that will be possible. So yeah, before we go into the applications, hello Mary. Before we go to, yeah, actually, I see that the programs coordinator has already shared that for you to say if you have any questions, please send them to the link that has been shared on the. If you have any questions that you'd love for us to answer, on that link that has been shared on the Slido link, and we'll be able to answer. So to continue. Um, on the applications of data analysis. Now, as we've said, this program is very hands-on and practical. I can't highlight that enough. And we also need you to understand how you're going to apply your skills within the industry, because you're not just giving you a bootcamp to be able to learn skills and say, oh, I learned skills in a particular bootcamp, but you want to be able to apply this now on the applications of data analysis, where you're able to, these places, these are the ways in which you will be able to apply your skills. So in businesses, businesses use data analysis to foster innovation. How this is done is you want to research, maybe as a business, you want to you're doing a research on a new product that you want to be that you want to bring on board, and you gather data, and you need to understand this data for you to see like what particular thing can you bring on board, and how can you do it. So data analysis comes in place. That is done in practice in our sessions. And then there's better decision making. Data analysis helps you because through data analysis we gain important insights, and this can help in better decision making. Organizations actually use data analysts in organizations normally help the executives in narrowing down the reports, and also in helping make decisions that are informed. Yeah, big on the informed decision making. And then it's also, the analysis is also used in operational efficiency, because you're going to analyze your data and see that this is working, this is not working, so you go big on what is working. And then data analysis is also used in enhancing customer experience, because you analyze and now see these customers. You can, through this analysis, you can segment your customers and be able to see that now these customers like these times. So in that area, you will be able to relate. And then we have in research, because you also have those that are interested in this course, particularly for research. In research, you use data analysis to identify patterns in your data. Because again, in research, we know what research to gain insights. There's exploratory research, there's maybe a research where you have a hypothesis, now you want to test it, so you want to identify patterns from your data. You want to use data analysis to understand the nature of your variables. In research, there's normally something called the independent and the dependent variables. Now you can use data analysis, you can subject it to statistical analysis, like the measures of central tendencies, and also there's the logistic regressions, and there's also these linear regressions where you try to understand the nature of your variables. And then again, data analysis will help you avoid biases with the help of statistics. And you can also use data analysis to acquire insights from large data sets, which generally summarizes the whole impact of data analysis in research. Now, the industries in which data analysis are applied are many, and I think data is being generated, because we generate the moment you wake up and you be on your phone. Sorry for that. The moment you wake up and the moment you're checking, you're generating data. The moment you are posting something on Twitter, on TikTok, and all that, and we're all consuming data. Now, businesses also gather data, and organizations also gather data, but just having that data is not enough. You need to be able to use this data to enhance your operational ability. You need to use this data to enhance your decision making. You need to use this data to better relate with your customers or the people whom you're serving. So the organizations the industries that we have here are marketing. We'll be able to see how businesses use data analysis in marketing within our practical sessions again, because this is just an information session. I'm just going to cruise through. So there's marketing, there's government, there's manufacturing, healthcare, agriculture, finance, human resources, there's retail, there's education, and a whole lot of other industries that use analysis. And this is just a way of us telling you that by gaining data analysis skills, you're not going to be short of industries where you can work. You can literally work anywhere with data analysis skills, because almost every almost every organization, every industry needs someone who is analytical, someone that can analyze their data and turn those data into insights that can be used for decision making. Um, um, On case studies, we also looked at a few case studies in which you can apply data analysis in Kenya, and we tried to highlight a few industries, a few organizations that are common, like KRA, Safaricom, Bidco, and Jumi, and all others. And now, for example, now like KRA, they use data analysis in enforcing tax compliance, fraud detection, and revenue forecasting. How they do this is by utilizing taxpayer data, analyzing the data because I think most people, the moment you attain the age of 18, you need to have a KRA PIN. And the essence of registering to KRA is just registering as a taxpayer. And we normally have people who file their nil returns, those who don't have income, and those who have to file they pay, and there's also the company income tax. Now, KRA utilizes the data that we generate as taxpayers in trying to understand the dynamics and the rates at which and in trying to understand how people comply with tax regulations. They check transactional records, that is those who pay the taxes, and then they also look at economic indicators for analysis. The KRA also utilizes, they also use data analysis to identify the high-risk taxpayers and also identify tax evasion schemes, also optimize tax collection strategies, as well as forecast revenue trends for fiscal planning. Now, these are just a few key areas, but I know that KRA uses data analysis for so many things that we might be able to try look at some of these things in our practical sessions. And then there is Safaricom, which is I think almost every one of us, if you're in Kenya, uses Safaricom, and you buy data, or if you have Wi-Fi, maybe you're using the Safaricom Wi-Fi network, or you using Safaricom to make calls, send messages, and that is generating data. Yeah. So they're using this data that we generate to analyze. They analyze this data that we generate in order to optimize their marketing strategies. They use this data to check for fraud, because again, there is normally so much fraud where tech is involved, and they also use this data to personalize star 544. Chances are the data options that will be given are somehow, and your friend, maybe someone who's next to you, dials it at the same time, you'll find that you guys have been put in different segments, and the offers that are given to you are different to that which is given to another person. That happens because Safaricom will analyze that this person, how much data do they use, or how much calls do they use, how much frequently do they use Safaricom, and then they segment you again according to your age and all those other metrics. And then they also use that to monitor network performance, utilize it for fraud detection and financial performance analysis. Now, for financial performance analysis, I think almost every other organization uses data for that. Though it's basically the job of financial analysts, but again, as a data analyst, you can serve in that section if you have the background of BCom, or you have a background that is CPA related or finance related. So that is it on those two. And then we also have a case study on equity and Cambridge. Now, case studies are generalized because there are so many institutions in Kenya, so it's not just equity. So equity utilizes data analysis for risk management and fraud detection. Like there are systems that are in place where Of course, as a banking customer, when I make transactions and all that, that is data and that is stored somewhere. So they'll be checking that data to see how regularly maybe you transact, and if you're somebody that maybe amount you've ever transacted is 5,000, and then suddenly you have a transaction of 5,000, 5 million, sorry, 5 million, that will be flagged, and that will actually be flagged via data analysis. So that is that, and also analyzes, they also analyze transactional data in real time. I think I've mentioned that, and to identify and prevent potential losses, ensure security. Again, there's the issue of customer segmentation by almost every other organization that is customer centric, and for services, and then also to optimize the lending practices and credit scoring. So if you those are going, you can actually you can actually go and measure in credit scoring analysis. It's also a really big key area in data analytics that is very rewarding. So they also do that, and of course to enhance decision making and financial performance analysis as well. And then Cambry, again, now this is a research institution that is based in Kenya, and they focus on epidemiologic epidemiological surveillance and disease outbreak detection. Sorry for the pronunciation issues. And they use data analytics to analyze health data and try to identify trends. Like an example is during COVID-19 times, they'd analyze and see like this area is high risk, you know, something of that sort. And they analyze health data, patient records, and demographic information in order to prevent the outbreak of diseases, to curtail the spread of some of these viruses and something of that sort, and also assess public health risk. And they also use data analytics for clinical trials and healthcare policy formulation. Other metrics, we will definitely make sure we look into those in our practical sessions. For those who are interested in research, you'll be able to see how that can be done with real data. That is, now for the case studies, we'll be using actually real data to for our case studies. So there's that, and then we have use data analytics for production processes, supply chain management, quality control, and optimizing production schedules, and all those others. And then we also have Jumia. This is for customer segmentation, inventory management, and sales forecasting, as well as personalizing product recommendations. If you go to if you're an online shopper, you realize and you realize that once you buy something, the likelihood of you being this something is very high. Now that is done through, of course, it's done through a lot of data science and machine learning on the background, but that is still data analytics being involved. So there's that. I'm cruising through those so that we don't spend so much time. But we'll be able to look at how these things are done in our practical sessions that start next week, that you should not miss, by the way. So now on to the participants' knowledge and expectations. We are sharing these so that you understand why we have come up with the kind of learning structure that we have, because you realize in the registration form we were asking you of your proficiency levels, and so that we could use that to inform the making of this course. Because if we realized from the form, from the registration, that most people here are intermediate, then there won't be any need for us to go through the basics. So that is why we are having this. Before I get into this, kindly remember to share your questions on the link, on the Slido link that has been shared, because this is supposed to be an information session where we also answer your questions. and try to address some of the questions that the participants have. So this is our analytics of the participants' proficiency levels. We had over 261 people register, and for Excel, we have most people have intermediate skills, but we also still have a huge number of beginners. If you check the first histogram here, is it a histogram? Yeah, check the first chart here. So the beginners are over 100, which means that we're going to have to cover Excel from the fundamentals, from understanding what Excel is, understanding the tools and all that. And then we also have SQL, and most people in SQL are also beginners, which means we're going to have to cover SQL again from the root. Again, Power BI, most people are also beginners, and we only had one person who registered, who is advanced, by the way. And we're also going to have to cover Power BI from the roots, from the very fundamentals. Now, on career interests of the participants that registered to this bootcamp, we have the highest number being interested in just majoring in data analysis. But I don't think whatever career interest that you put here, you're not limited to that. You can always pivot, and you can always apply these skills in different areas. So there's data analysis, there's people who are interested in research analysis, the people interested in data science. Now, those interested in data science, I know data science uses a lot of Python and R, and the different Python libraries. We're not going to cover Python in this bootcamp. We are going to be specifically covering Excel, SQL, and Power BI. But I believe and I know that the skills that you're going to gain from this bootcamp are going to make it easy for you to pivot into data science. We'll also have another bootcamp on data science. It's still in the making. We're still discussing how to bring it on board, but maybe you'll be able to join that as well. And then we also have those who are interested in business analysis, and those who are interested in financial analysis. Now, you're going to be able to gain skills from here, but those who are interested in financial analysis, again, you're not going to be covering the financial instruments like the balance sheet, the statements of financial income or the cash flow statements. But I know that the skills that you gain here, because now that most of these skills are general, you'll be able to cover them, you'll be able to apply them in your analysis of those instruments as well. And I should have also mentioned that I have a background in finance as well, and maybe we could do another course or just a master class on using these tools specifically for financial analysis. But for this specific bootcamp, we're just going to be focusing on these tools and their practicality and their industry applications in data analysis. So for the course structure, is it six? Yes, six. No, this is one, two. Six modules, and we're going to cover two modules per tool. That is, we're going to cover one tool in two different sessions. So in the first session of each tool, we will be covering the basics, and then the second session we look into now the advanced functionalities. So if you look here, for example, for Excel, the first week we'll just be looking at the Excel basics, and the objective here is to provide participants with a comprehensive introduction to Excel. We'll be covering the navigation, we'll be covering data entry, and also ensuring a strong foundation for further learning. Now, those who would say who have intermediate skills, you don't have to join the Excel basics if I told you are good with all these skills that we'll be covering in the Excel basics. Uh, you can skip the first intro, because we don't want to, unless you want to have a refresher, which is also important. You you can join that class. So in that, we'll be looking at the overview of Excel. We'll be looking at how to navigate Excel. We'll be looking at how to enter and manage data on Excel, how to format cells, and we'll also have an introduction to the basic Excel formulas and functions, and also look at the different text functions and date and time functions. And also we'll have practicals and assignments. Now, if you are advanced and you don't want to attend this first class, be sure to still do the assignment and submit it, because that way we'll be able to also gauge your understanding of these things. So the assignment will be shared with everyone on their email after every class. So the second week we'll be looking into advanced Excel functionalities. And here we'll be looking at advanced Excel formulas and functions. We'll be looking at data visualizations. We'll be looking at the different data analysis tools in Excel, and also have a case study. Let me not say have a practical session, because the whole sessions will be practical. The next class that we're going to have, there won't be such a presentation. It will just be a presentation of my Excel dashboard, and us doing doing the lessons practically. Now, in the third week, we'll be looking at the basics of SQL, and here we'll be introducing you to the databases and SQL. And for this, we'll be using MySQL. So I'll share with you guys how to install MySQL, and we look at the basic SQL queries and look at aggregation functions and groupings, as well as, of course, a case study on how it's applied in the industry. In the fourth week, we look at advanced SQL techniques. We'll be looking at subqueries and nested queries, advanced join operations, window functions, and common table expressions, as well as, of course, a case study. And the assignment, if I forget to mention the assignment at the end of any module, just know that there's an assignment at each and every week. There'll be an assignment that has to be submitted. And then in the fifth week, we look into introduction to Power BI, and we look at the overview of Power BI interface and its functionalities. We look at data importation and transformation in Power BI, and then we look at how to create basic visualizations, and of course, assignments and case study. And then in the sixth week, we're going to look at advanced Power BI, and we're also going to look at how to integrate Power BI with the different tools that we have learned here, because now this is going to be the last class, practical class that we have, and we're going to have to learn how to integrate Excel and SQL into Power BI. So we look at advanced Power BI features, we look at dashboard creation and sharing, and then we're going to integrate it with Excel, SQL, and so that we understand how to conduct comprehensive data analysis. And then after this, there won't be an assignment after the last class, but that is where now you will break to do the projects. Now, something that I don't know if I've mentioned this, but we'll be using data, like real data in our classes, in the assignments, as well as in the project. So in the project, we'll share with you what is to be developed in the project, or if we just give you a place where you can source the data so that you do a project of your own liking, that we will discuss in that last class. Now, so for the seventh and eighth week, we'll be doing the capstone project, which is your portfolio project, and something that is going to be serving as your, almost as your CV, as your practical CV when you go out there. So in the seventh week, we won't have a virtual meeting, but you will use that week to be developing your projects. And that will be it. So after we have presented the projects, we will share with you your certificates, and then now we can have the different sessions on how to develop your portfolio website simply using HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. A simple portfolio website, not something you don't even have to have coding background to attend that session. It will be a simple one, and we'll also share with you the source codes so that if you feel like you don't want to have to go into the nitty gritties, you just adjust a few things here and there to optimize the portfolio to yourself. And also, we'll have a session on CV building and also a session on LinkedIn profile optimization. And then also, like I mentioned at the start of this session, is that we are trying to get partners where we can place those who successfully finish this boot camp, so that you can apply the skills that you gain from this boot camp in those companies. And maybe if you do well enough, you can be absorbed in those different organizations. So that one we will keep you informed about, and I will keep sharing with you about. But what I know for sure is that NextTech is dedicated to ensuring that we don't just take people through courses, but we also help you get a footing. We also help you get a foundation. Also help you get a place where you can stand and just gain those skills so that when you're developing your CV, you say you did this boot camp, but you also had an experience or an internship or an attachment, something of that sort. So having said that, for the tools and installations, I will share a guide. I wanted us to do it here, but maybe most people are joining from their phones. So we will share a guide on the email on how to install the different tools if you don't have them already. And also, you can also just Google how to install those tools. But once we share the email, in case you have any challenges with installing the tools, you can always reach out, and one of the next tech team members could help you install the tool on a live session. Now, having shared that, we are at the point where we look at the questions that the participants have. So if you have any questions, if you've not been able to send it to the Slido, you can just type your questions on the chat so that we reply. We have like 15 minutes left, so or 10 minutes. 15 is a lot. Let's like take 5 minutes to answer questions, and then